Hello, we are picking up our reading in Chapter 4, The Illusions of the Ego, and Journey Through the Text of A Course in Miracles by Ken Wapnick, Ph.D. Jesus is emphasizing the oneness of the sonship. Even though he has not discussed projection in any real depth, it is hinted at here. We project our thought system of separation and guilt and then see it in others. Consequently, instead of being grateful for our brothers who exemplify the unity of the sonship, we see them as enemies. Jesus is teaching us to shift from ingratitude to gratitude, anger to graciousness, reflecting the true perception of forgiveness that ultimately fades into knowledge. The next passage continues this idea by speaking of the little gap of separation. I will go with you to the Holy One, and through my perception he can bridge the little gap. Your gratitude to your brother is the only gift I want. I will bring it to God for you, knowing that to know your brother is to know God. While traditional Christianity has emphasized one's relationship with God and Jesus, and has also preached forgiveness, healing relationships here is not usually presented as a prerequisite for healing our relationship with the divine. In other words, it is as if we can have revelations and mystical experiences of God or Jesus, and it does not matter what we do with anyone else. On the other hand, A Course in Miracles is saying, and again, in these early chapters, Jesus lays the groundwork for subsequent development of this important theme, that the way we perceive others is vital to our spiritual development. As this demonstrates how we perceive ourselves, coming from the mind's decision for the ego or the Holy Spirit, the gift Jesus wants is our gratitude to each other. I will bring it to God for you, knowing that to know your brother is to know God. Section 6, 7, 4 through 5. If you are grateful to your brother, you are grateful to God for what he created. Through your gratitude, you come to know your brother, and one moment of real recognition makes everyone your brother, because each of them is of your Father. This is because we are all part of the one sonship. While the connection is not explained here, it is the underlying premise of these statements. To exclude one person from the sonship is to exclude all. When we truly see another's interests the same as ours, that person is no longer perceived as separate from us. Whatever differences exist between us are perceived as minimal and superficial, as they exist only on the level of form. On the level of content, however, there are no differences. When our thoughts are congruent with God's living and loving oneness, we will feel lighter, for we will be lifting a heavy burden of guilt from our shoulders. Yet if we continue to harbor attack thoughts and seek to justify them, the mind's guilt will remain and suffering is inevitable. Jesus is teaching us to associate joy with the joining of interests and to accept our inherent sameness in the dream, in contrast to the pain that comes from seeing the interests as others as different from our own. I just kind of want to pause here. Sorry. I'm going to pause here because I think that is a wonderful little reminder. Maybe we could write it down. I'm going to write it down and put it here on my desk, but because it's a wonderful reminder as you go through your day that whatever differences whatever differences that exist between us in this world are minimal and superficial, as they exist only on the level of form. On the level of content, there are no differences. I think that is a beautiful reminder. And I just wanted to pause here. So maybe if you wanted to write that down too, I don't know if that helps you as much as it helps me, but I think it's beautiful. Whatever differences exist between us are perceived as minimal and superficial, as they exist only on the level of form. On the level of content, there are no differences. And so it is. I love you. We will pick up here tomorrow where I stopped. It's early, like way early. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful evening, whatever it is for you, where you are. And I'm so grateful that you chose to listen today. I love you. Bye-bye.